This reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more supporters at coffee.com/AlexHeitz. I'd like to thank Andreas Glasel, Cole Alexander, Lukasz Newman, Jag, Cedro Perez, Thin Ezzy, Willman, Lizard Man, also known as Bill, and Ben Thrifty for sponsoring this video, supporting me and my family of the channel. I appreciate it immensely, and I hope you all enjoy this video. I could feel at the time we are listening to For Your Pleasure. All right, so welcome everyone to this video. This is poll number 39 that we're doing here. Kind of breaking up right at the beginning of the Microphones discography that we're going through. And we are doing a Roxy music album today, which is quite fascinating. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I do. I have Roxy music on my reaction schedule. So I have a linked in the description. You can find my reaction album list that I'm going through in order. And about halfway down is Roxy music. And I have planned to do Roxy music, For Your Pleasure, which is what we're doing today, Stranded, Country Life, Siren, I believe, and then Avalon. I have heard more than this. Fantastic kind of like soft rock. Would you call it yacht rock? I don't know. Just very like, just like you're sailing the ocean, and it's just like, you know, Brian. Thanks, Brian. He's ferrying us away. And I've also heard Avalon, which is like the most like sparse, light, airy pop song you could ever hear. It's hardly a song. Like if you went, it would like disappear. It's a wisp of a song. But this is early Roxy music that we're going into here. Yeah, as you can see, this is the poll here. We had 7 votes, and this one won. Pleasure Principle, the Pleasure albums did well. Look at that. But yeah, Roxy music took the lead. So we're diving into some glam rock today, everybody. I hope you're all excited. For those who don't know, I do unedited reactions on my Coffee page, coffee.com/AlexHeitz. For $5 a month, you can get access to the whole back catalog of unedited reactions, going all the way back to April of 2021. With the Modest Mouse albums when I started doing it. And we have about 100 unedited reactions in the back catalog now. So if you'd like to check that out, go check out the Coffee page. You can also hop in at the $1 per month level and get access to voting in these polls that we do every 2 to 4 albums. Kind of breaks up the monotony of going through like artist discography binges. And we get to interject these random miscellaneous albums into the mix. So if you want to support the channel, that'd be the place to do it. Also got to shout out NordVPN, link in the description, have an affiliate link down there. Fantastic VPN, great speeds, great prices, been using them for years. If you're in need of a VPN, can't recommend them enough, go check them out. Okay, For Your Pleasure. So this is album number 2, 1973, a year after their first album, the self-titled, which has just the craziest, like, you know, that album cover for the debut is something else. Same with Country Life, you know, it's just like Brian, like little frisky. He's getting up there in age too. He's like a couple years younger than my dad, so I don't know. Maybe we don't have much longer with Brian, so I should be careful. We lost one important Brian. Now we're gonna lose a different Brian. I don't know. So this is early Roxy music when Eno was part of it for the first 3 years, which is kind of crazy. This album has been on my radar for a while. I've had a lot of people recommending it over the years, especially during like the Bowie stuff, because I went through a majority of the good Bowie albums on the first sweep through. So like when I was going through like Ziggy and Aladdin, people were like, you gotta do For Your Pleasure. And I'm like, okay. I don't love glam rock intrinsically. I think it's kind of a wide umbrella, and there's stuff that falls in the glam category that sort of like is not in my purview, and that's more of the like hard rock stuff. I would call, you know, like things that lean towards Queen and things that like some of the harder Bowie stuff I'm not as into, but like I liked Aladdin Sane more than Ziggy, so I don't know what that says about me, but with this being a glam rock album, I see that it kind of has an art rock bent, maybe some progressive rock and some psychedelic stuff too. Um, so maybe not as necessarily like hard rock. I don't know. That's the thing is like I want to hear this early Brian Ferry stuff to see like how it stacks up to his more wispy later stuff. Because I also did Windswept on the channel too, and I was really fascinated by that. So yeah, we have Eno doing like some synthesizer and tape work here. I don't know anything about like any of these other members or the history of the band or anything like that, and we'll learn more about that once we actually go through the discography later. But yeah, I don't know if I have a whole lot to add. We have 42 minutes. It's only 8 tracks. The Bogus Man is almost 10 minutes long. That's kind of crazy. So I'm wondering if that's more of like a prog rock kind of joint right there. I don't know. People seem to really like this one, so I'm very fascinated. I've heard one, maybe 2 early Eno tracks when he was also in his kind of glam era. Before becoming like the world's premier ambient artist. So I don't know. It seems like Brian and Brian kind of went a little softer, didn't they? How about that? All right. Without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started here with the first track, Do the Strand. I believe that this is a single. I think there's how many singles on here? Just one? Do the Strand? Let me confirm. Do the Strand, yep. And this is maybe jazzier? I don't know. But let's go ahead and listen.
There's a new sensation, a fabulous creation. Do the Strand, love, when you feel loved on the tables, Quackle's place or Mabel's, moonbeams, slide on rainbow, in fun. Boy with the boogie, the sambas and Josie, Arabs at the Oasis, Buddha Stransky, weary of the walls, greening, lust forever, but it can't land.
Wow. So I'm listening to the 99 remaster for Virgin Records. I know that there's like there's other remasters as well. I didn't really like worry too much about which one I was listening to. So it sounded very full, just very in your face, mixed pretty well, nice and thick, but also like had some room to breathe. Very, very reminiscent of like some of the glammier stuff from like Velvet Underground, huh? It's same kind of art rock thing. Brian Ferry. I need to distinguish Brian with a Y. Kind of channeling Lou Reed a little bit, which is interesting. The fact that they're from England is also kind of fascinating. And this is, some years after Velvet Underground invented underground music to a degree, made it popular. Very much in line with that kind of stuff. It was pretty much on the nose with what I was expecting this album to sound like. Very glad that it's not like aggressively hard rock kind of glam, like I mentioned. And it had, a fun little guitar break in there too. So good with that. This isn't like, if this album continues to be stuff like that, it's going to be one of those things where it's like I enjoy my listen and I don't really come back to it because I don't know, the more like Zolo-y art rock quirky stuff like doesn't always like beckon me back to it to re-listen. I'm sure you guys also have certain artists or genres where like when you listen to them you enjoy it, you appreciate it, you see the quality or the craftsmanship, but like it doesn't speak to you as a music listener. You know what I mean? There can be that dichotomy. It's not always like, oh, it's good, therefore I'm head over heels for it, and I'll listen to it all the time. At least that's not how I approach art. So, next track, Beauty Queen.
Believe it never could work out. His past faded away. One thing we share, that even devils might little they shed, swaying palms at your feet. You're the pride. And my inspiration. Solo trips to the stars.
You do it multiple times in the song, and then that's how you end it. So that is interesting because I would argue. I don't know if I'd argue. I might just say that that had some like very vague notes of Pink Floyd on it. Maybe a bit with like how the guitar sounds, but also that just kind of more like psychedelic sort of. The chord progression a little bit too. Maybe reminded me a bit of later Pink Floyd, interestingly enough. Fascinating. Again, it's like I'm really intrigued by like how this sounds. And then Brian just comes in and is like super quirky, and then I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It like when it comes to like quirky music, like silly music, that's why I haven't like been eager to dive into They Might Be Giants. They Will Be Giants. They will might be a birdhouse in your soul. Because like while like I have heard parts of Flood and I enjoy it. And I've heard a good amount of Ween that I enjoy. But like I feel like something needs to like lean stronger into the comedy side if it's going to try to be funny. Whereas with this, it's like it's hard to take it super seriously, and I don't think you're supposed to. I think it's kind of meant to be a little playful. But I don't know. It falls into a really awkward spot for me where I don't quite know how to digest it because it's like, ooh, really cool, interesting, like start to the song. It's kind of dark. And it's just like Blue-Eyed Soul, you know? Like, all right, I don't really know what's going on there, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. We will just truck on with Strictly Confidential.
Before I die, I'll write this a letter. You must know. Will it be silent? Rolling and turning. How can I sleep? And down. Truth is the seed we try to sow. Lost in money only. When the words won't dry. Sometimes I wonder, would it be if thoughts become me? Magical moment.
They can't keep getting away with it. Jeez. Fascinating. Much more art rocky, I would say. Little hard rock break in there, which is fine. Interesting, like, contrast between, like, chorus, if you want to call it that, and verses. Yeah. Fascinating stuff. I just want to keep going. I don't have, like, a whole lot to comment on. I'm just kind of enjoying the ride here. It's even though, like, I was expecting the unexpected, and I'm getting the unexpected, but the unexpected still surprises you. You know what I mean? So let's keep going. Editions of You. This is the B-side for Do the Strand. Okay, you did the proto-punk. That was fun. The energy was good. It had that, like, same, like, immediate raw energy, like proto-punk energy that, like, Velvet Underground did so well. It's like, I think of, like, you know, All Tomorrow's parties. Like, they really like to just, like, drive on instruments, like, very quick notes, I guess you could say, like 16, 30 seconds, stuff like that. And then, like, the breakdowns, the riffs in here were a lot of fun too. With what sounded like, was it an organ? I couldn't really tell. Also, I didn't mention it. Andy McKay, I assume, the one on the wind instruments, doing the oboe on one of the previous tracks. I forgot to mention that, but that was also a really nice addition. Yeah, did someone do like a? Was that Eno on like a synthesizer? Because it sounded like an organ. I don't know. It had that kind of Doors vibe, you know, with those kind of old organ sounds. Cool. All right, we're about halfway through, everybody. Next track is In Every Dream Home, a Heartache.
In every dream home, a heartache takes me further from heaven. Standards of living, they're rising daily, you're saying. From bell push to faucet and house perfection. But what goes on, what to do there seems so essential. I bought you mail order, your skin is like vinyl. The perfect companion, inflatable doll. My role is to serve you, immortal and life-size. My breath is inside you. I blew up your body, but you blew my mind.
Oh. Now there is a Velvet Underground track, man. That has Lou Reed stank all over it. Kidding me? That was funny. Interesting, like it's like that early '70s stuff where it's like you got this on the wall a little bit too. It's just kind of this what's the word? Distaste? Just kind of unsettled nature of like society and people just kind of feeling an unnerve, you know? You get that on like Frankie Teardrop. It's the name of the song, right? From the Suicide album. Lots of Velvet Underground stuff kind of has that darkness in it too. And it's just kind of like it's grappling with like what we're doing as a society and what we think is okay. Interesting. That's probably the most interesting one on the album so far. Nice little instrumental or hard rock. The hard rock moments have been very tasteful. They've been like earned. It's not just like we're going to throw riffs into absolutely everything because we want to. And I thought it was over because it says it's only 4 minutes and 25 seconds on Rate Your Music, but then it comes back in with that extra little bit at the end. I don't know, maybe that's like a remastered thing, but interesting, fascinating stuff. Kind of thing that wouldn't feel too crazily out of place on like a White Light, White Heat or something, you know? All right, we're flipping over to the B side of the vinyl. We're on the Bogus Man. This one's a long one. I'm expecting prog in some capacity. Let's go. He's tired. There's a lot. Okay, so like how do I even start talking about something like this? A little krautrocky, you know, got that like repetition going on there. Very like steady groove, doesn't really deviate a whole lot. Very slow dynamic phrasing, you know what I mean? The composition moves very slowly. Rhythmically, I guess you could say. And so that element I'm not always super into when it's like there's not a whole lot of change, and I find it hard to kind of just like get into that drone. But like some of the like instruments that came in, the production choices were really interesting and it kept my attention. I only felt like kind of fatigued towards the end there. For a 9-minute track, it really wasn't that bad. Fascinating. I don't like the ASMR chick. That's not my thing. It's yuck. It's yuck in my ears. Sorry, Brian. Gray Lagoons, penultimate track.
Blue suns and the gray lagoon. All these and more to choose. If you slide some teardrops on the velvet lights, a morning sickness, broken parties made. Broken parties making a strange goodbye. Blue suns and the gray lagoon. Gray lagoon.
That's just a bopping rock and roll tune right there. Wow. That's a lot of fun. 4 minutes. Still kind of progressive. It shifted into like a bunch of different phrases. That was fun. That's probably one of my favorites on here. I'll talk about all the ones that have stuck with me since. Once we're done with this final track, for your pleasure.
Sure, in our present state, part false, part true, like anything we present. Hard and loose, they're all shoulders with the stars at night shining so bright. Worried about last night. We step a change. You watch me.
Wow. What an end. That had Eno all over it. That was cool. A lot of like tape work, a lot of like feedback and loops and echoes and delays and stuff in there. One of my favorites, I think. It's less of the glam stuff, and it was like just kind of like a weird psychedelic spacey exploration into like loop stuff, which I'm excited to like look at Eno's other like, you know, early 70s stuff, because I'm pretty sure he like leans hard on that kind of tape work a lot. But yeah, nice, interesting outro to an interesting album, which I will say this album's quite nice. I think it's very good. Dare I say great? I think it might be great. It's not really to my taste. I prefer the more like breathy, airy stuff of both Brian's later on. But like Do the Strand was fun. Beauty Queen was interesting. I do remember Editions of You standing out to me. Obviously, In Every Dream Home is a standout track for its own reasons. Bogus Man I'm mixed on. Grey Lagoons, a lot of fun. And then For Your Pleasure was a really cool outro. So really tight album. Not a whole lot to say about it. Definitely fits in its era. It's in a post Velvet Underground era. It's in an early, right in the heyday of prog, honestly. So this album slots right in with a lot of other big albums in these genres. And it's very notable. It's very notable. So it's like if anyone likes Velvet Underground or Pink Floyd, it's worth looking into this. Definitely strong notes of Eno's art rock. And I've only heard, was it Dead Finks Don't Talk? It's on the channel. You guys can go look it up. It was like from a donation stream. But Eno's chord progression sensibilities in his early glam era very much is on here as well. And it's like, I don't know, it's fascinating. It's not, like I said, it's not fully to my taste. I just don't like reach for that because it's such a unique flavor. It's hard to swallow. It's like taking a shot of apple cider vinegar, you know? It's just like, oh, but I guess it's good for me. I don't know. I'm still interested to check out other Roxy music albums later on in the schedule and see that kind of trajectory and how they change, and kind of lighten up into the more sophistipoppy kind of stuff going in towards the 80s. So, For Your Pleasure, very nice. Thank you for giving me music for my pleasure. I enjoyed listening to it, and I will enjoy and I'm excited to listen to more Roxy music in the future. So, very nice. Okay. That's all I got, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. This was a nice little fun art rock kind of album to do. Very much nothing like the microphones, but what is? So next thing we will be doing is the next Microphones album, which was It Was Hot, We Stayed in Water. Very excited for that. We'll also be doing a live re-listen for The Glow Part 2. That should be scheduled already as a live stream. It might get moved out in the future if I have to delay a certain Saturday or two, but that is on the channel, and you can hit this notification bell if you want to be around for the live re-listen of that. Very excited to just keep going through the microphones too. We'll round out all of the main Microphones album before we get to another poll, so cool stuff. Things to plug, yet again, coffee.com/Alex Heitz. $5 a month access to unedited reactions, of which this is one, and then $1 a month access to voting in polls, which this was one. Also got to shout out the Discord, link in the description for that. Got about 175 to 200 members over there. It's not a super active server where people are talking all the time, but I will post like unlisted links for YouTube reactions ahead of time as early access, and I will like post notification like at everyone when I go live on YouTube or Twitch. So if you want to stay abreast of me, that's where you do it. That is all I got. I have nothing more to add. We're just very excited to keep trucking through with the microphones. Really stoked about that. And I got a bunch of interesting choices for live streams coming up down the road. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and until next time, take care, fare thee well, and Godspeed.